Welcome to B-Bite, where we discuss our life experiences from the ups to the downs to everything in between. I'm one of your hosts, Lily.
This is Mario.
Hello.
Happy Friday, everyone. It's
Oh,
6
yeah.
a.m. live from LA.
Yeah, in LA, it's 6 a.m. For some reason,
Yes.
Mario prefers morning time versus nighttime,
Yes.
which is crazy to me.
Most of my friends are night owl, believe it or not.
Yeah,
But
me too.
I'm like the early bird.
Yeah, it's so strange. I was like, oh, is 9 a.m. EST like too early for you? And you're like, no, earlier the better. I'm like, what? What kind of
I don't
crazy
know.
person are you?
I don't know why. I just have a lot of energy in the morning, but like when it comes to like 12 a.m., that's when I'm like completely dead.
Oh my goodness.
So I prefer morning. I don't know why. It's just my body, and all my energy is like all in the morning, and that's what I prefer the most.
I mean, I think that's good. I like most people in life are trying to figure out how to become like morning people, right? Like all the advice columns are how I woke up at 6 a.m. Here's my 5 a.m. morning routine for success, you know?
Okay, so one thing I want to squash about that kind of thinking, like people always think, oh, all the successful people wake up at like 3 a.m. You know, they go to gym at 4 a.m. They journal at like 5 a.m. I don't think that's true.
Okay. What do you think happens?
Maybe my personal gut opinion, don't think all the successful people wake up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. and start doing things. Maybe there are cases where successful people were successful because of that, but I don't think that is the main reason that they were successful, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm totally wrong about it, but I think I'm a little bit stubborn about that. I don't think that is fully the reasoning why they were successful.
Okay.
But
That makes me feel better.
okay.
Maybe I have a chance even though I don't wake up at 5 a.m.
Well, if you think about it, if you stay up really late at night, technically it's the same, right? It's the same cycle. It's just that you stay up late rather than wake up in the morning and sleep earlier.
Yeah, but I get like, if I say, oh, I woke up at 4 a.m., that gives me a different response from people than I stayed up until 4 a.m. You know, like people look at me differently based on those two things.
You see, that's the problem. That's called that's called judgment rather than saying it's the same, right? It's basically saying like the difference between studying from 3 a.m. to let's say 3 p.m. versus 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. There's no really a difference. Like if you are the person who are a night owl, then you prefer to study all the way till like late at night.
Yeah.
But for early bird, yeah, maybe you prefer waking up early and study. So I don't think there's much difference if you look at it.
There definitely isn't, but it's definitely a judgment thing.
I think that's kind of how most people view it as a judgment because it's just the perspective of society. Things, if you wake up early, right, healthier, blah blah blah. But I don't think that is the case.
I will say, though, when I was in college during finals week, I would always move my sleeping schedule around because I found that if I only had 2 hours to sleep, sleeping from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. feels a lot shorter than sleeping at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I think just because at 5 a.m., I'm just so tired that my body wants to sleep. So the 2 hours feels like not enough versus if I'm sleeping earlier in the evening, it feels a little bit longer because it feels like my body has the time. And so during college, I would always go to sleep early evening for however long, and then that would give me all the energy I need to stay up all night, all morning, sunrise.
Yeah, that's fair. For me, I can't stay up. I remember just did a pull all-nighter only once in college,
Oh my gosh, really?
and I was dead for the whole week.
Oh my gosh.
My body just couldn't react well when I
Wow.
pull all-nighter. Yeah, it's basically my body that you're saying like stop being irresponsible and just like actually study when I need to study.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't because of study. It was a group project, like final project we had to do, and we just changed it in the last minute. So we had to like basically we had to complete the project from 0 to 100 in within 24 hours, and I don't know, somehow we cranked it out, but yeah, it took the life out of me for sure. So before we jump into our topic this week, I want to talk about what has happened since we last talked. Well, since I last visited Atlanta,
Yeah.
I've since moved. Well, not moved. Come back to LA.
Uh-huh.
So, anything happened since then for you?
Oh, let me see.
You kept a logs of journal now, so
Yeah, I do. So now it's like a little bit easier.
yes.
Yeah, so I went to. Oh, this is interesting. I got invited to a career fair with the high school students at my old high school where I graduated from.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like talking to them, and I think I just act like this and I look like this. So I think they thought that I was one of the students or like really close to being a student. So they kept asking me questions about like college. And I was like, I mean, I'm happy to answer them. But then I said something like, yeah, I actually graduated from this school. I'm about to go to my 10-year high school reunion this year. And some of them, like, they, like, gasped. They're like, oh, like, I didn't know a person can get so old.
Oh
like,
my god.
they were, like, one of them, there was, like, a couple of students that I was talking to a lot because I really liked them. And they were like, oh my gosh, like, you seem so young. I can't imagine that you're like an adult. And I was like, I also can't feel like I'm an adult. So that's fair. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that was like an eye-opening experience because the high schoolers, they're so small. Like, they're so young and they have so much like hope and dreams.
I mean, we were like that at one point for sure.
I'm sure we were, but like now I feel like I'm so jaded from adult life that looking at them, I'm like, whoa, you are so cute. Like they kept asking me questions like, do you own a house? And I was
Oh my god.
like, and like, what kind of free time do you get in college? I was like, oh, you're so cute. You have so many like hopes and dreams. And some of them even asked me about like, what do you think is the importance of like, is GPA important after high school? I was just like, y'all are so cute. Like, I just like, these are things I haven't thought about in so long.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think some of my younger friends also had a similar thing. Like they will ask me, "Oh, you know, if I study hard, become software engineer, I'm gonna be rich." I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
"Are you sure?" It also comes with stress. It also comes with a lot of real life struggle at work. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of baggages that come with it too. It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, I remember like a few years ago, I was planning an event for high school girls specifically to like get them connected to like careers and stuff. It was like a career fair. And so part of that, we were interviewing high schoolers about like what kind of information would they want to know. And one of the questions we asked them was like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Right? So they're what, like 15, so like at age 20, where do you see yourself? And their answers were like, one of them, we interviewed like 2 or 3 at a time, but every single group was like, oh, I wake up in the morning, it's a beautiful day, the windows are open and the curtains are billowing, and I am excited to get to work and open my laptop and really changed the world. I was like, you're so cute because like I'm 28 and like I rolled out of bed this morning like all groggy. And I'm like I'm so charmed that they have this view of life, but also like kind of sad for them.
I think if you ask, like, at our age, if people ask us the same question, we will be like, we are so excited to close our laptop and be done with work for the day, right? And ready for the
Yeah.
weekend.
Oh, it's so funny because we will talk about like, oh, we're so tired, we're like excited for our free time, but they're like, I'm so excited to start my morning, and I'm like, y'all are so cute.
No, I don't blame them for answering that way because now thinking back, I think I used to feel that way
I think I did
before
too.
I start working. So I can comprehend
Yeah.
what they say, but I hope when they get to our stage, they will still have that energy.
Yeah, I hope they stay this way. I don't
Yes.
want to like break it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, that was probably the biggest event.
Besides that, anything else interesting?
Oh, me, not particularly. It's all kind of the same.
How's your pickleball now? Are you getting...
So, a few weeks ago, I fell down pretty hard and I fell on my wrist, like, pretty weirdly. So, like,
Oh.
rotating it around really hurts. And, like, picking up my hair dryer to, like, dry my hair really hurts. So, like, playing pickleball is a little bit more difficult right now. So, not great. I'm still going. But next week, I'm going on a trip. So it'll be my time to like rest because I won't be able to play pickleball then.
New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the first trip of... Oh, no, you actually went to South Carolina. So that's not the first trip of the year for you.
Yeah, this will be like my second.
That's pretty good. Yeah, for me, So surprisingly, I went to another badminton tournament.
Why is it surprising?
So like there are a lot of back-to-back tournaments. So like this week I'm gonna have another tournament too this weekend. So it'll be
Of
my
course.
3 tournaments in 3 weeks, which is insane.
It's a little crazy, but that's why it's not surprising.
Yeah, it's not. But last week I actually went to another tournament called it's hosted by Northern California Badminton Club.
Okay.
Actually, some of our friends from our college were there as well.
Competing?
Yes, and
Oh.
they actually won. Well, he and his partner won the E men's double. We actually know.
Oh.
Yeah, and they got like the men's double consolation. I didn't play men's double this time because my partner couldn't go, but I got to play singles and mix, which is interesting.
How'd you do?
So for mix, I lost in semi,
Okay.
but it was close. But even quarters final, it was very close. Quarterfinal, we played in 3 games, and we won the third set 25-23.
25. Okay.
Yeah, so it was very close.
Jeez.
And semi, first game we lost 21-23, and second game, I think we
okay.
just kind of gave up. I think the mentality was gone already at that point.
Is this a partner that you play with often?
Not that often, until maybe a week or so before tournament.
Okay. So do you think you have your synergy all aligned?
I think the quarterfinal game made our synergy really well. Mainly because I think I know my job well and I know what my partner's strong point is. So I try to activate her most of the time.
Actively.
Because mixed games, usually girls will be targeted for the most part. Sadly to say, but that's kind of how the game
Yeah.
goes. And so I know my partner is really good at driving the shuttle back when they smash at her. So I always lift to her side and they'll smash straight. And she'll drive cross and then the guy will lift really short, and then I'll smash the opponent girl.
Okay,
That's
okay.
kind of how we look at it. But yeah, we could have lost in quarter, to be honest, because it's like super close and it could be anyone's game. Couldn't get to the final though. It's a pity because I really like the trophy from that tournament. The trophy is really pretty. So, but it was okay. I think I didn't expect us to go that far. Maybe I was being pessimist, but I think yeah, we get further than I thought we could be. So it was a good thing.
Okay.
And yesterday, I actually so I've been playing a lot recently. Mainly because there's another tournament this weekend. So I'm playing like 2 men's double events and then 1 mixed double events.
Okay.
And I was actually training yesterday with a coach, with my friends too. Yeah. I recently found out like so whenever I try to smash, especially as of recent, I feel like my right arm kind of hurts a little when I smash, and it turned out that it's because I never had the right swing all along.
Oh.
Even though it looks like I have a right swing, I'm not. And the reason is like when I try to like punch clear or like try to smash, I just feel like I exert a lot of energy, but it doesn't actually translate to hard smash or hard clear
Okay.
because my swing wasn't right. So
Interesting. Okay.
so yesterday the coach trying to fix my swing. You know, it's a little bit awkward, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm so used to like swinging the way I was swinging.
Yeah.
And so just by him kind of teaching me, like fixing it properly, I can feel like the power actually come out easily without me exerting a lot of energy. And the way I hold the racket is always too tense. Like this is the test. This is the test that he did to kind of prove that was the case. It's like he told me, okay, hold my racket like what I usually do, and he pulled the racket head for me, and it was really hard for him to pull it because I held it pretty tight. But when he showed me how he held it and I pulled it, it was literally like no effort. I can pull it for him, and he say it should be like that up until there's a contact to the shuttle, which I think he's right. He's totally right.
Yeah.
So he asked me if I want to go today again from 8 to 9 to kind of like so it's really hard to say like learn the right swing and then apply it like this weekend.
Yeah.
But he asked me to go again today if I want to, so and maybe be able to use it in the tournament. I'm still debating because today I also
You should.
have stuff to do, but
Oh.
adult life. But I'm trying to think to see if I can go or not. Yeah, that's kind of like what happened the last week. And since we don't play the men's double, I got to actually go to San Francisco a little bit on Sunday, and yeah, mostly San Francisco, like Japantown. I also went to Land's End, which is like the northwest corner of San Francisco before you cross the Golden Gate Bridge, if that makes sense. So
Like the beachy area?
yeah, it's like where the coast is, and surprisingly very pretty.
Surprisingly?
Yeah, I never been to that area, so I didn't expect much of it. And yeah, I think I took a lot of my friend took a lot of good pictures of me, so it was
Okay.
nice.
I'm excited to see them.
Actually, my profile picture on Instagram has already changed to that.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. It's fast.
Yeah. I think mostly the thing that stand out is my sneakers, not really my face.
Oh. Interesting.
But I think it was fun. I really enjoy road trip. Yeah, we had like 6 people in the car plus a Shiba Inu, which was
Aw.
yeah, Shiba Inu was like very well trained. Like literally like she rarely bark in the car, and yeah, and like it's really fun. But we always arrive at Airbnb from Friday to Sunday like at 2 a.m. which because the tournament in the distance, you know, so that's how it panned out. But it was fun overall. I had fun. Like first time in a long time in a road trip that we kind of more like a chill mode than like do everything mode, which is
Different for you.
unheard of for me.
Unheard.
But I think I sometimes I do enjoy it, a little bit change of things, and so yeah, that's pretty much what happened this week. Oh, and also like I caught flu for the
Oh,
past week, so I'm trying to recover. It just coming back on and off.
oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
The flu or like just like a cold?
I think cold, but then yeah,
Okay.
it's like running nose and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Careful.
Luckily, it's not COVID, so I think I'm
Okay.
grateful it's not COVID. So far, I'm still what they call COVID virgin or whatever.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you're like the superhero.
knock on wood. So hopefully it'll stay that way. Yeah. So this week, I really want to talk a little bit about. It's a question that my friend's date asked her recently, which I thought is an interesting question. And I think everyone's answer is gonna be unique for this. It's called, what would you call the chapter of your life? Like what would you call like a title or like the sentence of the chapter of your life? Which I thought is an interesting question. And I think it's a pretty deep question to think about because it's not really straightforward and you have to think a little bit about like your life a little bit. Either in a positive or negative way, I think. But everyone's answer can be very different in this case. So I'll give you some time to think about yours. Maybe I'll start with mine first because I did give a little
Okay.
thinking of this. I would say for me is, I think simple. YOLO. That's pretty much
YOLO.
that's pretty much
Hasn't that been the chapter of your life like
It-
for the last like 5 years or something?
yeah. I'm slowly, so for my personal life, I'm definitely YOLO. But for my work life, I think I don't
Oh,
want to
that's
I don't
true.
want to say I want to be YOLO, but it's more
You're
like
definitely less like uptight about it now.
than before, yes.
Yeah.
I'm still uptight, but definitely not crazy like before. So so I guess like if you want to expand what that means for me is like the reason why I say the chapter is like YOLO is, okay, if you come from Asia, I think you'll probably like face into this kind of thing one way or the other, is especially if you come from a small place, which I did. Is that everybody knows everyone, everybody gossiping about everyone, and so every little thing that you do, like everyone knows, and then everyone will gossip, and I personally do not like that. And I mean, my friends know me. I just hate gossiping in general. I mean, people can gossip all they want. I don't care, but like, I don't want to be the part of. I don't want to participate in gossiping, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that part of me can define, especially for the past 5 6 years. I would say that is more evident since the start of COVID, because that kind of drive me to travel more, either locally to national park, right, and then after COVID, like internationally, is to don't care how other views of me, if that makes sense. Because if you grew up in like Asian household, you're always being compared to, and I like growing up, I think that's like the thing I hate the most. Although I would say like for my family, like school was or academically, my parents don't really care. I guess they just trust that I'll be responsible for whatever I do. I think I'm grateful for that. But outside of that, right? Like for example, people would ask like, oh, 90% of my friends are married, have kids, blah blah blah. Like, why don't you have, girlfriend or
Sure.
get married? Luckily, my parents don't do that too. So it's kind of like the most important people in my life. They don't care too much about that, which kind of helped me to like not stress about it. But definitely, like I got a lot of questions like this from friends, and I just told them like I'm just YOLO. Just don't ask me anything. So that's kind of like my perspective of it, and even I think when I do stuff or when I posting on Instagram, I don't really care about like what how other views of me. It's more like okay,
Hmm.
I want to do this, I'll do it. If I want to post this, I'll post it. I don't really care. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you do, there's gonna be people who dislike you, and there's gonna be people who like you. So, as long as I'm happy, I don't really care. Like it sounds like a broken record at this point, like the way I say it, but that's just how I view things now. I'm less stressful of like how, like, basically I'm doing things not to satisfy others, but rather just myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, which is a good way to live life for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And even at work, I think I used to be like so unbalanced. Like, if you talk to me, maybe I would say 2017, yeah, 2017, 2018, pre-COVID, I would say. Or maybe, no, like before 2021, I feel like I'm the type that goes 90% work, 10% personal life. And now looking back, actually I didn't think that was a good decision or like good lifestyle for me. Cause honestly, ever since I work, I don't really take off, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, if you look at my Instagram, definitely you will see like, man, this guy's always everywhere. Like he's always vacationing, but actually,
yeah.
no, I'm still working, and
Wait, on that note, Mario Day is coming
I'm
up.
taking one day off.
Oh, good for you! Yeah,
Yeah, I'm taking one day off.
Mario Day.
I have few meetings on Monday, and then I just pushed them to Tuesday. I say
Hey,
I'm done with Monday. I'm just gonna take Monday off.
Mario Day,
Yeah.
Mario Day.
And having like Cole kind of like pushed me to actually take the day off.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to take the day off today, Friday, but actually I have few meetings. I have to go to dental office as well, so I'm like, okay, let me just take Monday off.
Okay.
Since I
Yeah.
told you I would, but also
Yeah.
all these things, and I'll play tournament this weekend, so I'm pretty sure I'll be dead by then. So I'll just take it off.
Okay. Yay!
Yeah, I think like, and I think like the definition of YOLO is not just like don't care, but also I think I would say more of treat myself a little bit better. So my mentality usually is like, okay, I treat everyone around me, at least people that I know, like my family and my friends, I tend to treat them way better than I treat myself. I'm not sure if people notice it, but like, so for example, let's say if I go to vacation, right, I'll buy gifts or buy souvenirs for them, but I wouldn't buy anything for myself. And that has been recurring for like many years, like that. Or, or say like if I, let's say if I stay at Airbnb with friends, I'll give them all the rooms. I'll sleep in the living room. I think that's just more of a habit of me.
Yeah.
It's not really like a bad thing, I would say. It's just that I think I tend to prioritize others more than myself most
Yeah.
of the time. And reading the book recently, The Art of Selfishness, kind of helped me realize that a little bit, even though it took me 15 minutes per page because of the Chinese book.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm slowly learning things, and like trying to be selfish, not in a negative way, but more like also kind of look into myself and be like, is this actually healthy for me as well? It's kind of hard to like describe this feeling because for those who knows me, I'm always a yes man. Like if you ask me anything, I'm like yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
and I rarely say no. And I'm learning trying to say no, even though it kind of hurts me to say no. So I'm trying to work myself toward that direction.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I will say yes, even though my heart say no, and and I go do things that I don't want to do. But then just because it's for friends, I will say yes.
Yeah. I think it's like a good thing that you're caring about people, but it does become like a negative thing on yourself when you start like how do I say? Caring about others is not a bad thing, but not caring about yourself is a bad thing.
Yeah, some of my friends say it's a little bit too much. Too much in the sense that I prioritize others more than myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's okay to care about others. You just also need to care about yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. I tend to forget about that part most of the time, which is, yeah, really insane when I think about it.
I think I'm similar. Like, it's really hard for me to say no to things when things come up. So people are like, oh, Lily can do this. And I'll be like, yeah, Lily can do that. Yeah, of course. And then there's like a couple times, like, especially at work, I really, really don't have time for something. And I will like type a very long answer about like, oh, thank you for considering me, but unfortunately I have this and I like would love to do it, but I can't, so I'm so sorry. And then I would send it and I like do a scream and I run around like my room a little bit and I'm like, because I'm just like so like nervous energy. And yeah, the first few times I said no to something, I like screamed and ran away.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think I'm also, like, to be blunt, I think I am more of a people pleaser type, if that makes sense. And so it's no surprise, like, the way I am, like, how I am right now is because of that. So, yeah, just trying to get better on that front. And
good for you.
That also, I feel like that also applies in a relationship, the YOLO type. Because I used to be, like, so stressed, so like uptight about like, oh, you know, I need to get a girlfriend by this date this year. But now I don't view it that way anymore. It's more like, you know, if I do find someone suitable that comes along, great. If I can't, fine. Like, you know, it's not a must for me now, if that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like that applies to many things in life for me now. And I don't know. So far, it works, but we'll see how extreme I can take this.
I feel like you're defeating the point again of like how extreme can I take this. Yeah. It reminds me of when I was in therapy when I was doing my medical leave. My therapist was like, you really need to like relax more because you're like so worried about all these things. And so I was like, okay. I went home and I wrote down like things I want to do. And one of the goals I had for my medical leave, I wrote it down and my therapist was like, you're crazy. How do I learn to relax efficiently?
I'm not sure if relax and efficiently can be in one sentence because...
And she was like, Lily, this is the kind of thing we need to stop doing.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, I see.
Yeah. It reminds me the other day when I told... My friend was like, oh, you only slept 4 hours that night. I say, yes, I slept efficiently. And they say, no, there's no such thing as slept efficiently. It's either you sleep 4 hours or you sleep 7 hours. I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, it's like such a hard thing to unlearn, but it's definitely true.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so that's pretty much for me. What about you then? What will be your...
Okay.
What would you call... What's the title of your chapter of your life?
So the word that came to mind was popcorn. I think it feels like recently I guess this isn't super recent anymore, but like I went on my medical leave and so I was like on like a pretty down, I was just like kind of down. And so, but I still had all these different ideas of what I wanted to do with like my days and whatnot. So recently it's been more of like, okay, I have all these ideas and little things that I want to do. And each of them, I'm like, they're either happening because I want them to happen or they're happening just like because other people want them to happen. So it's like both internal and external forces. But in the end, it all just kind of feels like everything is exploding. Like my friend group is exploding. All my hobbies are exploding. My work is exploding. And it just like, it's like good because I'm able to turn like my potential into something real and like good, but it's also like maybe it has the potential to like get out of control. And so that's like the image of popcorn came to mind. So I think that's what it is now. So I guess the goal for ending this chapter will be like, yes, popcorn is great, but like let's not get so much that it like overflows the bowl.
Okay.
That kind of.
That's good
that kind
analogy.
of
I
thing.
like that. I like that.
Yeah, popcorn is the current chapter of my life.
So then, how do you see, like, likewise, like, have you seen the changes, or at least for the past few years, from the past you and now? Like, what would you say the biggest change that you have made for yourself, or at least strive to make for yourself, in this regard?
I think it's hard because it's like related to your. I think I say yes to more things, but also no to more things too. So like, I think maybe it's just like I have more opportunities are coming my way, and so I'm actively making the choices that I want to make. And so I say yes to everything that I actually want to do, and I say no to the things that I don't want to do. And so the yeses there's still a lot of yeses and not quite as many nos, but it's more like I'm actively thinking about it versus before I feel like either I wasn't paying attention to the opportunities coming, or I like felt really shy about it, or I felt obligated, and it was just like all this mess. But I feel like I have like a better grasp on what I want to do nowadays.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's great to hear. I think sometimes,
Yeah.
I've been pondering on that question too. Is like, what is next? What is next? Both personal life and work life, right? It's like for personal life, I just feel okay. I've been doing not necessarily the same thing because I try to pick up a new thing every year. There's something that I'm working on that I never post so far on Instagram, so I'm just trying to surprise everyone if it comes to fruition.
Okay.
I kind of held back to post anything about it, but I think I just want to get to a point where like I'm confident to show.
Okay.
So
Okay.
stay tuned on that one. Depending
Mysterious.
on how far I go with it, then I'll show.
Okay.
And I think
Looking forward to this mystery reveal.
yes, mystery reveal. It's a lifelong dream that I wanted to do, and I'm hoping to realize it this year. So it may come to surprise too many, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to like spoil it because I want to keep it a secret for now. And another thing I would say, like I think, like as year goes on, right? As I pick up more things and try to make them more of I would say a routine. It not necessarily to say like I'm not enjoying as much. It's more like I view them a little bit different now than before. Like before I did things because I loved them. Now it's like I did things I love them, but also I need to do them. So the perspective has changed a little bit, and I'm trying to get back that feeling of like doing because I love it, not because I have to do it. So for example, like I mean I do like hiking, and I hike once a week. But sometimes it can be a burden to like, okay, that's the quota I need to hit every week. I need to go hike every week. And I'm just trying to find, I'm still go hiking, but I need to find a way to like rediscover why I love hiking in the first place, if that makes sense. And yeah, I think at least currently the way I view it is like a way to be outside, a little bit different than the environment that I be in every day, like working, for example. That's why I love hiking in the first place, to be out there and just to be in solitude and with nature and things like that. But also recently I've been playing, I would say, too much badminton. than I need to be. I do enjoy badminton, especially like when it comes to tournament. I used to have a tournament jitter. I'm not sure if people playing tournament also felt the same way, but I used to feel like jittery in during tournament. I still do now, but less so. And I think now I come to a point where I've participated a lot of tournament, and the hunger to win is more and more because I just want to go to the next level. And so that's kind of why I actually went to the training like recently, just because I'm tired of losing, if that makes sense. I want to just win and be done and go to the next stage, you know. So you know, of course, to make that happen, you have to make commitment, right, to train and to play more and improve, think of a game some more. So hopefully this weekend will be a step toward that.
Yeah.
And the cash prize is always nice. So
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of like
That makes sense.
both goals. And I'm playing with friends too, so it'll be fun, as usual.
Woo.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for me. But
yeah.
anything else you want to add or?
No, not really. It's been a year. We're 2 months done with the year, so just gonna finish the quarter off.
Actually, the 2 months of this year passed by super quick for me.
It did, yeah.
Cause I just realized I haven't made any like long trip this
trips.
year. Except that I just came back from Asia in January. I don't know. Ridiculous, I know. But I'm actually planning things, so we'll see. We'll see how that turn out. But enjoy your New York trip, and
thanks.
Looking forward to the stories of hopefully food from Flushing if you go. You know, all
next time I'll come with all my New York stories.
Great. Awesome. So yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Happy Friday.
Woo!
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.